Do I get to start?
You can, if you want to start now, we'll let you talk, and then we're going to take a look and spend a few minutes together looking at the student work.
Let me just tell you how I felt like it went. Some things were good, some things were not so good. I see this as a completely different lesson than the previous, than the lesson that was actually planned. I felt like I ran out of time. I was kind of upset I wasn't able to get or process through more of the poster so students could see that different ways to answer things. Things that I felt like went well was their level of participation and their wanting, some of them or most of them, to either share their thinking, stretch themselves, and some of the students' willingness to say, I am lost right here, or I am stuck right here. Because that gives me a better window into what I need to work on with direct instruction. I was really happy to see how much they talk to each other about their own work and the comfort level that has come up, because in the beginning of the year, some of them would not discuss their work, especially if they saw any kind of mark, or after they noticed, oh wow, the right answer is 82 and I don't have 82 on my paper, I'm not going to say anything. Now they're more willing to talk about it. So I feel like I'm making progress, but this is a very different lesson because I do want them to go beyond pictures, numbers, and words, and actually start looking at how those things work together and actually taking apart a word problem, which is a completely different lesson, different re-engagement lesson.
So why don't you talk a little bit about the work samples, and the ones you got to, and the ones we didn't, and why and we initially selected these, even though we didn't get to them.
Okay, so this, you saw these two. This one was selected. Can we turn that heater off?
Yeah,
you turned it off. This one was selected because, well, this is a traditional algorithm, but also the words I added 36. I know. You could not just write 12.
Sorry. Let's let Camille turn the heat off.
Okay. There we go. Okay. But also, a few of my students are using a number line. And so when they use a number line to add on, which is another strategy for subtracting, I counted by ones on the number line. I started with 59. So I said 1. So she looked at the number line and said 59. 1. Whenever I get to another number, I started at the right number, so 59. Now she's telling us why she picked 59. 59 became 1, and so on and so on it went. She came up with 31, which is really, really close. She started with her number line, 59, 60, and you see she goes all the way up to 72. And I'm assuming she gets tired, ... because she needs to get to 92. This becomes 1, 2, 3. This is her difference up here, which is one strategy for finding out the correct answer. The only problem is when we get into right here. Something happened to 64 and 65. And so this would have been good for the students to see as another strategy, or how to verbalize a strategy that they might be using. Because some of them did actually use this strategy, but on their paper, they didn't explain it this way. So that's why this poster was chosen. This one was chosen because this student actually decided to use the base 10 blocks and actually showed an appropriate way of the difference, or they're showing how they got the difference. Here's the 92. And they're Xing things out. They regroup these and mark these off. Here is the answer of what's left, 34. As opposed to this. Usually in second grade, when we do number talks or things like that, they are still here. And they stay here for a while, counting on the fingers. And then they go to counting, 1, 2, 3. At least this has been my observation. And then somewhere along the line, they start looking at groups of things, which makes better sense of the algorithm. I noticed that, you know, before Dewan saw this as 28, 92, 58, and he thought all these numbers were being added together, which was a big red flag for me about how you use the words. And are these words describing this picture, or are these words describing how this person added the numbers up? Because some of them are a little confused, or it's a little fuzzy about how things are added up. That's why those posters were actually chosen.
And this one here is actually a work sample from another school. These are from Tracy's classes. These were student work, but we felt that this was a correct example of a strategy that we saw the kids using on their papers. A lot of the kids were attempting to use base 10 blocks and draw pictures of it, but their mathematics was incorrect. And so we thought this was a strong example of a successful attempt. And that's why that one was chosen.